There are those that just want to be left alone, and those that just won't leave them alone. Which one are you? The Ernest Hancock Show.
Leave me alone.
Quiet. Quiet. Welcome back to Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, and the always yakety Drew Phillips, and the always quiet and reserved Nick Barnett. But, you know, Drew always makes a good guest, though. Got plenty to talk about. I want to share something with you in the last segment here. I got sent an email by someone that you would know. It doesn't matter who. Maybe you don't want to know we were talking. But what's circulating around the net is this. Let's prepare now to give Ron Paul Revolution 2 a big kickoff. Here's the plan. On the day that Ron Paul announces, let's immediately show the country that he has the support to win. Let's have a national sign and banner day that captures the attention of citizens and the media. In order to accomplish this, we must prepare now. Blah, 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 blah. And it goes through, you know, kind of trying to organize what happened before that was totally unorganized. The point that I keep trying to make over and over and over during the Revolution, travel around the country, and the point that I was making, the reason it was successful was because it was not organized. This is lost on people. They want to recreate this. My fear is that I don't think they understand what was happening then and what it's evolved into now. That when we first started, one of the criticisms that I got from close friends that, you know, financial supporters, they said, look, Ernie, if we do this and we help with this, are you thinking that maybe we might be feeding into a delusion that politics will be a method by which they can free the country and you vote yourself free? And I said, that's a valid concern. And I went through what I know they're going to go through over the next couple of years. And I think the exact opposite is going to happen. They're going to realize just how broke fundamentally the system is and that there is no political solution. It's going to be a cultural thing. So I was encouraging, you know, everybody just do what they want, however it manifested itself, didn't care. Well, now that movement, the people in the streets in Cairo kind of thing, they want to collectivize it. They want to bring it together. They want it to be represented by someone. We need to, hell, we'll even have the Islamic Brotherhood be, you know, the head guy as long as we got somebody to deal with. Because they don't understand how to deal with millions of freed minds that just say, never mind. I don't need anybody to represent me. I'm good. So now they're going to want to try and resurrect the Revolution in such a way that can be controlled when it was never controllable. When they went to the Campaign for Liberty, that was an effort to take the Revolution and these independent anarchists, kind of whatever, I don't even know if they even voted, to go over and be controlled and directed. You know, power to the people, you know, they can do whatever they want. And I'm telling you, they're going to do whatever they want. So I want to ask these young revolutionaries here, Nick and Drew, how do you think this is going to manifest itself? You know, because we got CPAC coming up. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, and I was telling you the break. They just posted. It was one of the Facebook things for Campaign for Liberty, and it said CPAC is sold out. Wonder who's going to win the straw poll. So it seemed to imply that they happen to know how many tickets got sold under whose banner. But it'll be interesting because, like I said, Gary Johnson's been promoting CPAC pretty hard and trying to get his supporters out there. So, yeah, obviously there's a lot. Everyone's kind of anticipating what the outcome of CPAC will be. But I agree with you. A lot of people, they didn't learn that through the Ron Paul Revolution and through the campaign, they didn't learn that the government process or the electoral process was going to save them. They learned that it was so corrupt and screwed up that, watching the examples of Paul being shunned in the media, the examples of the Republican Party antics that went on locally to block people from becoming precinct committeemen and getting involved in the process, all of these were just examples for people to learn that, you know, Paul is the man. I mean, he's I think we all in this room respect him highly, and he's a very intelligent person, and he's espousing the message of the wrong word. He's disseminating the message of liberty well, but he's working in a broken system, and I wasn't encouraged to continue to participate in that broken system. I was encouraged, and what I learned from it was to get outside and around it.
You know, he and I talked the day before that he pulled out in Texas. And I was of the opinion that, you know, you promise the people that if they supported you, you go through the convention. If they've demonstrated that over and over and over and over and over and over, if you do this, I don't see where you're going to get the same kind of thing in the future. So he was of the mind that you kind of look kind of crazy if you're just tilting against windmills in the system. And I am a Republican congressman, and I do owe allegiance to a party that's put me in, and I got other benefits he's can get and getting appointed to and blah, blah, blah. And he may run for U.S. Senate in Texas. And there's all kinds of I mean, heck, he's a politician. I mean, don't ever think he's not a politician. So I'm going, okay, I understand. I just wanted to, give my perspective. I'm, loyal to the message and, what you've been doing. You're the man. You keep doing what you're doing. So we get along fine, but I had a difference of opinion. If he did this and pulled out before going to the convention, he could not expect the same kind of support now. And I think that's going to manifest itself, and for those exact reasons. So, Nick, from your perspective, what do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. I hope he runs just because it's
a good
fun.
Speaking tour.
Yeah. But I'm of the opinion that it doesn't really matter. I'm so down on government right now that I can't get past my thoughts that they're just going to do whatever they're going to do anyhow because they have demonstrated it time and time again. So I hope he runs, and I hope that there's a bunch of people in the streets. But if I had to tell the truth, I don't think it's going to.
Well, would you be one of those people in the streets?
No, probably not.
Well, the other thing I just want to say real quick was that I was noticing the Campaign for Liberty table was right next to us, and their little sign-up sheet, email sheet, people were signing without even the Annette prompting them and saying, "Hey, get on our email list." And what I guess that's the other side of it. You have the common sign during the revolution was Ron Paul cured my apathy. So you have these people that had already disengaged from the system coming into it, and I think they're the ones that saw, okay, I came back into it and it was fun, but no, it's still not for me. But you have the other side of Republicans who were in it and have always been in it and entrenched in this establishment thing. They're now the crowd that are, darn it, that guy was right. They hated Ron Paul, they mocked Ron Paul in the beginning, and now a lot of these conservatives have gone, well, okay, I like Ron Paul, he's okay.
The war.
Well, okay, but his argument.
The war. I'm telling you,
his argument is going to come even more true now when people see the economic. Care. Well, you're right. There's a lot of people with a lot of hate in their hearts out there, but
I saw him there.
Yeah. Then they yelled at me for having my "I Love Muslims" bumper sticker. I mean, I understand that element, but when they feel it, when the squeeze comes, I mean, when it really starts getting bad, I think they may change their minds. Simply out of necessity.
They're going to do what they have always done. They're going to look to government to bail them out. They owe them.
Yeah, I agree with you. But what I'm saying is you have both sides, and we'll see where they end up. The CPAC will be the test, I guess, and we'll see.
Is it? I mean, why?
No, but why? Because it's. I'm not saying it's the ultimate. I'm just saying it's an indicator. It's something to pay attention to.
But is it really an indicator when they know that they have X number of tickets and they're already saying they're going to win the straw poll?
Okay, well, no. I mean, it's the same thing. You were talking about how Romney and they bought Iowa and they essentially bust everybody in. That's exactly what Ron Paul's camp is doing. They're encouraging their membership to drive, to come. Greenberg, whatever his name is having a caravan from Pennsylvania where he's going to go see his family. So it's the same thing on both sides. It's not crooked. It's just who has the most support in their political game. I'm not endorsing the system. I'm just pointing out.
But it is a system, and it's not that. I mean, the thing is, it is a disservice to Ron Paul to say how much better he is than all the scumbags in Washington, because that's not that hard, okay?
Right.
But he is, as a man, as an individual, as a quality individual, to be able to have somebody with that kind of power that you can trust, that's a real compliment. I just don't trust anybody with that kind of power. And so I have a lot of criticism. Well, what about like Stuart Rhodes really hammering on me Friday? Well, Ron Paul. I'm going, okay. He's just an exception that proves the rule, So I really have a lot of support and affection, and my wife really does. She has and I trust my wife's instincts. She really loves Ron Paul. And that's why I was kind of disappointed about his son Rand kind of fuzzing around on the edges a little bit. We'll see what happens there. But all of this is just a manifestation of what's coming. This is just kind of the debate that's going back and forth. And it's all how many libertarians can dance on the head of a pin that's white hot. I mean, you know, it's all going to implode anyway. How are you going to survive? Breathing in and out. That's what I advocate. All of this is just theater and education to save as many minds as we can. But it's all instructive. We're just getting ready for it getting bad. And hopefully you'll benefit from us talking about it and debating it. Tomorrow will be with Charles Goyette, and we'll get down to the nitty-gritty of what we think is going to happen, in what order, and how fast. I think it's going to be faster than we all think. We'll talk to you tomorrow.